for gold here, if we have a look, today is NFP, right? So what are they expecting? Well, obviously here you can see these are the previous numbers. This is basically, for people who don't know, this is the change of people employed during the previous month, including excluding the farming industry. That's why it's called non-farm payroll. So the people that are being employed, right? So we can actually see that there was more people being employed than the forecast. That's not the goal of the Fed. The Fed don't want more people being employed, and they're expecting only 224k to be employed, and we'll see if that comes matched or if that comes higher. If that comes higher than expected, then I probably will expect gold to actually try to retrace this move that we had down, right? If this comes back as expected, we will probably see a spike to upside and downside. And if it comes out worse, we will see dollar strengthen, because that was their plan, and we'll probably see gold head down, right? So it's very interesting to see that. And yeah, I'm populating based on my analysis, right? And this is how you analyze news, right? If we look at what happened on previous weekly, okay, this is super important, guys, and I want you guys to listen to this very, very carefully, because there's a potential I can clip this and show you guys this afterwards, right? After the news event. Look what the weekly candle has done. This is the last day of the week, right? And it's not, we have created a previous candle closed bullish here, right? Previous weekly candle closed bullish. News basically pulled back to retest the open of the candle, right? We retest the open of the candle, still respecting the weekly candle lows. We're rejecting off those lows, okay? Daily candle here is closing bullish. I would not be surprised, after creating this support, I would not be surprised to break the daily high here, and with news gives us the move and flips this weekly candle, right? I would not be surprised to see this weekly candle flip, and price just follows the structure that was originally made, right? Structure that was originally made was upside structure based on the bullish candle here, daily bullish, 4 hour also closing kind of now ranging but bullish. I would not be surprised if maybe we see a quick move down in London, news comes maybe and pushes price up. So I said, if the numbers do come back a little bit better than expected, I do expect gold to retrace this move down, right? And what did we do? We retraced this move down, right? If we look, well, it extended it, but I said we would retrace most of this move down. We extended it, got the weekly flip here. So that was a clip from the morning London, pre-London live streams that we do, and that was quite early in the morning when we're having a look at the analysis, looking at kind of economics and what we expect the economy to do. A factor of this is the structure. And this is what I mean, that people are too concentrated trying to predict news, when all you have to do is look at structure that can drastically help your trades, right? And I'm personally backtesting this type of stuff, so that will be put into my data collection. The thing is, it's really hard to backtest news moves, because every time when, like, if you go back in the past, when there's news, the economy is different, right? We're at a different economic standpoint, the goals of the economy are different, and there's different events, so it's hard to backtest something to see if it works. So you kind of have to do it live and see if your hypothesis basically plays out. And then I can look to get into moves pre-news. I can look to take moves pre-news to be able to try catch these moves if I'm in before it even happens, because that's the safest way. You don't want to be trading during news. You can trade after using this idea, and yesterday was a great chance. So as I said, respecting structure. So this is where price action, and I'm sure everyone who's looking at price action would have also been able to predict this as well. So if you're looking at this as a price action standpoint, that's why this made sense. And people who trade price action will understand this very well, right? And if you look at the daily candle, we had all signs that price wants to continue up. Nothing really told us that price wants to continue down. So news will either do two things. If the news came out negative, it's very hard to predict news, but it's possible to build a hypothesis based on the chart. What we could have seen is we could have seen a quick wick down and then price continue up, right? We commonly see that happen sometimes on the chart, when we see basically news skew something, but then the next week or the next days following, we just see price continue the original trend, continue what was happening on the charts. So sometimes news gives you pullbacks that actually create good opportunity, because let's say this week was trading at this weekly high here. Let's say we were trading at 1855. News gave us a pullback to 1818, and let's say the news was on Monday, maybe that news gives us the chance to trade this more to the upside. So the point I want to make in this video is that you have to follow what structure said, and the daily close, the weekly close bullish here, respecting the lows. Daily was also closing bullish here. At the break of the highs is the option. Now personally for me, I was not trading New York session. I was out away from the charts, so New York session would have been great yesterday. Definitely a lot of options to catch pullbacks on lower time frames to continue. I did have a look at it afterwards, but now that I'm populating and creating my hypothesis, I can start to implement this in future trades and start to try get in yesterday. And I think the best place to get in would probably be the daily flip and stop loss below the 1827 and hold it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, you go lower risk, but the reward is pretty big, right? If it does play out to your analysis. So that is definitely something I'm populating, and this was nice to see, especially after this candle here. Wick down, started to close up. Lower time frames give you the option to find these type of pullbacks here to continue price, right? And I think that was nice to see that play out, and I think you guys need to take big note of that, and big note that when trading news, focus on what structure has done. Don't focus on the news, don't focus and try to predict. Just follow price action, because price action will stay true most of the time. Even if news gives us a random move, we'll normally find that price action eventually does end up continuing the move if nothing has changed on the chart, and nothing did change on the chart. We just retested the basically the open down here, and we ended up flipping. Daily was telling us bullish bias, and until we had basically 4 hours breaking down heavy, there was nothing really to indicate sells, and that is why, you know, we got this upside move. I'm not here to say that news couldn't have done this, wick down, and then we got the move towards the upside. Definitely possible. The understanding is this, right? So when you understand macroeconomics and what you expect for the economy to do, if you watch the video, I said if the numbers do come back a little bit better than expected, I do expect gold to retrace this move down, right? And what did we do? We retraced this move down, right? If we look, well, it extended it, but you know, I said we would retrace most of this move down. We extended it, got the weekly flip here, but that just came from looking at what the basically the, when is it, there it is, right? So they were forecasting 200k, the previous was 500k, and we got more than expected. So you expect this to retrace the news, right? You expect that momentum to carry over, and jobs not to drop so harshly, right? Maybe by next month, now that this new statement has come from Powell, we can expect this number more to come into fruition. But you remember, all of this news is the previous month. We're getting the data from the previous month now, so it's very important to understand that. And when you understand that type of economics and understand the move down and how that was caused, that was just caused by basically scares of interest rates, and then that can be retraced because of inflation worries, and then there's a lot of things that go into that, and I'm not going to make this video on economics and stuff like that, but focusing on structure was the key driver. That was my key driver, focusing on structure. And you know, there's a famous saying, and I'll leave it off with this saying: show me the chart, I'll tell you the news. So what did it? I saw the chart told me that price is going to go up, right? That's what the chart said, and tell me what the news did, right? News pushed price up. So keeping it simple like that definitely allows you to have good opportunities, because it brings volume in the market, and definitely a lot to learn from that, and a lot that we can benefit. And I can collect data that I have been doing to implement this soon, to be able to profit heavily off this. But it takes time. You have to test things. And I mean, if you're trading New York, this could have had easy buys here, but I would have wanted to be in before this type of move, right? So with that being said, gonna leave it off there. Hope this video was useful, guys. If you're new, leave a subscribe, like, and all of that. I really do appreciate it. Instagram is down below. And as always, guys, take care, trade sharp. Until next time, peace.